Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Melanie and I run my own small business called Melogurumi, where I specialize in making and selling crochet plushies. It's been a while since I've done my little intro spiel, about a little over 2 months now actually. I've been a little MIA from social media over the past few months because honestly, I've just been tired. Since the beginning of the year, and honestly since the end of Anime Week in Atlanta last year, I've just been feeling super burnt out and really lost a lot of the motivation I first had when starting my crochet business. I just got super burnt out and kind of lost that spark that inspired me to crochet in the first place. And the physical strain from continuously crocheting for endless hours each day without any breaks was really at its peak for me this year. So with being exhausted both mentally and physically, I decided to just take a step back and really just focus on taking that well-deserved break. Again, it's been a little over 2 months since I last crocheted anything. My last project was the full outfit that I made for that festival in my previous video if you want to go check that out. And after making that outfit, I had the opportunity to go to China with my family for about 3 weeks. I just came back from that trip about 2 weeks ago now, and after resting up from all the traveling and the break from crocheting, I'm finally back and feeling a lot more motivated to keep going for the rest of the year. Throughout the year so far, I've definitely had to remind myself that it's okay to take breaks, and after taking a couple months to really rest and take care of myself, I'm feeling so much more motivated and inspired to keep doing what I love doing. So thank you guys so much for being so patient with me while I've been kind of MIA. We're all just trying our best. So since I've been back, I've been trying to figure out what my next project should be since it's been a few months since I've crocheted. I decided to ease back into the amigurumi with a small and quick project, which I've definitely shown here before. I just made a really quick small mini whale. This pattern is by amyscrochetcave.com, and again, only took me like 20 to 30 minutes, and it was really nice to just kind of get back into it with a small project. A little over a year ago now, I had 200 of these mini whales, and I recreated that one vine of Adele singing Someone Like You. If you know, you know. That's been my most viral short form content thus far. Since then, I think we have about less than 100 mini whales now, so definitely need to make a few more. But for now, we're starting off slow and steady with just the one. And then I was looking through my explore page on Instagram last week and saw this super cute crochet tank top pattern that I wanted to try out for myself. For a good while now, I've been on the hunt for a really cute and simple tank top pattern, and this was exactly what I was looking for. This is a free pattern by lilyknits.com, and I really love the stitch design, so I'm super excited to see how mine turns out. I'll be using Trubu from Lion brand. It's a size 3 100% rayon from bamboo in the color Raisin. It's kind of like a mauve purpley tone color, and I think it's really pretty. I bought 2 skeins of this yarn at least over a year ago now because I really liked how soft and lightweight it felt, and after finding the pattern, I figured this was the perfect yarn to make a very lightweight, breathable, stretchy top. I'm starting to develop a really bad habit with starting projects off camera now. So current progress is we have 1 panel done already. And then the rest of the skein gave me about a little less than a quarter of the second panel. I am a little worried that I made this first panel a little too small. It does stretch a bit, but it just ended up being smaller than I was expecting. So I'm really hoping that this second panel has a bit more stretch to it, and blocking both panels will just make it a little bit bigger. So as you can see, I finished the first skein about here, and I need to attach the second skein of yarn and hope that I have enough in here to completely finish the tank top. We'll see. So with that, let's keep going and finish up the second panel. Alright, so while the second panel is finishing up blocking, I figured we could start a new project while we wait. I want to switch back to amigurumi and make another plushie, so I found this free Miffy pattern by knit_joa on Instagram. Once you have the vase body done, it's pretty customizable with different clothing options that you can take on and off, so I'm kind of excited to make my own personal Miffy and dress her up with whatever clothes I want. I think the pattern calls for cotton yarn and a 2.5mm hook, but I'll be using my typical chenille baby from Ice yarns and a 5mm hook, so my Miffy will turn out a little bit bigger and softer. So yeah, let's get going. I am excited to start making another plushie again. Progress check so far. So we have the ears and the head basically done, and I'm about halfway through the body, and then I just need the legs, and then the whole base of the Miffy body will be done. The pattern itself has been pretty easy to follow. One thing I do want to point out is that for this pattern specifically, you're supposed to slip stitch and chain one before starting the next round. With amigurumi, I've typically just worked in continuous rounds and just start the new round at the first stitch of the previous round. With previous patterns where I've had to slip stitch and chain one, I've never really been successful with making a plushie that way, and I would just resort to doing continuous rounds like I normally do. So this is the first pattern where I've been kind of semi-successfully been able to slip stitch and chain one after each round. I really like this technique though after finally getting the hang of it. I think the body itself is a lot more smoother than if you were to stack the stitches on top of each other in a continuous round like usual. Maybe the 2-month break from crocheting was what I needed to finally understand how to do this. So I'm gonna continue and finish up the body. It's almost lunchtime, so I'll probably take a quick break in a little bit to get some food, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so it's been a few weeks now. I know, I'm sorry. Filming consistently really is not my strong suit at the moment, but there's a few projects that I've worked on over the past few weeks, and I want to share with all of you how they turned out. Last time I think we left off either finishing up or just finished with the base body of the Miffy, and now she is complete. So once her body was all set, I made this blue dress that you can easily take on and off. I think there's an option to add a button here just to make it easier to close, but I haven't gotten to that point yet. And then I also added this red hat that goes over her ears and you can tie at the base of her head. I think she turned out really cute. I really like that this Miffy pattern is super customizable, so once I have a few more clothing pieces and accessories in different colors for her, she can be dressed up for any occasion. Again, the pattern was really easy to follow along, and I finished her up the same day that I started making her, so I would highly recommend this super cute Miffy pattern. After Miffy was done, then I went back to the tank top and also finished it up. After both panels were finished blocking, then I just had to sew up the sides and add the straps and also the ribbing down here at the bottom. I really love the bamboo rayon texture. It's just so soft and stretchy and feels so comfortable on my body. I am definitely going to be using more bamboo yarn for future clothing projects, and I'm super excited to wear this tank top this summer. And then after the tank top, I wanted to switch back to amigurumi, and I was thinking about which pattern to work on. There's a few patterns in my library that I haven't really worked on in a few years, including this cat up here. So I just decided, let's make another one. This pattern is by tyrascrochet on Instagram, and I did a pattern test for this back in 2022 now. Oh my god, it's been like 3 years. This is the cat that I made for the original pattern test that I've managed to keep for all of these years, and this is the twin that I just made. The gray is a slightly different shade because I don't think I have any more of this original color, and even though I used the same pattern, yarn, and hook size for both of these, they still turned out slightly different from each other. So here's your reminder that all handmade products are still one of a kind, even if they're supposed to be duplicates. I think my original one right here looks a little bit better than the newer one I made, but they're both still cute regardless. It was also really nice to have my original one as kind of like a guide for where to assemble all the pieces, like the ears and the tail and the head placement. It was really nice revisiting an old pattern, and this cat is still probably one of my favorite things that I've made throughout my crochet career so far. So this guy will get put back up on the shelf. And after working on an old pattern, I wanted to try something new for myself. So I decided to make this little pochaco. This pattern is by Chubbies by Ash on both Instagram and YouTube. Completely free pattern, by the way. And isn't he just so cute? He is literally just the perfect size, and I love that he just sits propped up looking so cute. I kind of want to make more pochacos in different shirt colors. Maybe future project. And then I couldn't really stop with the Sanrio characters, so I also made Choco Cat. Pattern is also by Chubbies by Ash, also free. She has written patterns on her blog as well as video tutorials on her YouTube channel, so having both options is really helpful if you want to switch back and forth between the written instructions or the visual help. I am honestly so proud of myself for how perfect he turned out. He's just so circular and symmetrical and everything. I love it. And his little scarf is just the perfect accessory. After I finished Choco Cat, I realized that the pattern for the body was the perfect base for other animals. So I took the base body, messed around a little bit, and then made a little bear based off of the Choco Cat pattern. Side by side, you can see that the body is very similar. It should be similar because it's the exact same pattern, but then with all the other details, they become two different animals. I just love how my bear turned out, and I think this is a nice step in becoming a little bit more comfortable with freehanding and experimenting more with other patterns. That was a lot of plushies, animals specifically, but I've been getting the itch to kind of go back to making clothing right now. I've been a lot more inspired and motivated to continue experimenting with clothing, and right now I'm just in the mood to make another piece of clothing for myself. There's a certain kind of top that I've been trying to find a pattern for. It's like a long sleeve, collared, cropped sweater pullover type of shirt, and I think this pattern by Sorella is exactly what I'm looking for. I'm gonna make a few less rows for the body so it can give me that cropped look that I'm looking for, but other than that, I think the overall pattern is kind of the style that I want. This is the current progress so far. Do we see the vision? This is my first time crocheting a clothing piece top down. I usually make the separate panels and then sew them all together to assemble it, but this is a very interesting technique. I've definitely had to redo it a few times, but I think what we have so far is looking pretty good. We have the collar here, and then the sleeves are on the sides, and then continuing onto the body at the moment. It's only been about 2 full days so far of me working on this, even with restarting a few times, so I feel pretty good that I can finish this up over the next couple days, hopefully. So yeah, this is my current whip, my current project, and we're going to spend the next good bit finishing this up. So let's keep going. Alright, we have both sleeves done now, so it's finally looking more like a sweater. The last thing I need to do is to add the ribbing to the sleeves, the bottom, and then the neckline, and then I think we can be done. I only have one skein left, so I really hope this is enough to finish the sweater, but if not, that would be really unfortunate that I lost Yarn Chicken. But anyways, let's finish it up. The sweater is finally finished. It's actually been about a month in real time since I've finished the sweater, but I've just been putting off the reveal for so long. Sorry about that. But I'm finally ready to try it on, so let's go do that right now. Ta-da! What do we think? I feel like I might need to block this one more time just to stretch it out a little bit more. I think if the end of this goes a little bit lower, and also maybe extend the sleeve length a little bit more because it kind of cuts off right at my wrist, then it'll be a better fit. But overall, I actually really like how the sweater turned out. For an 100% acrylic yarn, this is actually really soft and comfortable, so I will definitely be wearing this in the fall when it starts getting colder. This is the exact type of v-neck sweater I was looking to make. I am definitely in my clothes making era now. There's just so many projects I have in mind to make next, but I'll always make time for amigurumi. With that, I think I'm gonna end this video here. Thank you guys so much for watching and joining as I make a nice mix of both plushies and clothing this time around. I promise we have some exciting stuff coming up throughout the end of the year, like a website, more content ideas, even another travel vlog maybe. So if you're even just a little bit interested in any of those exciting things, definitely subscribe and stay tuned on my socials. Thank you guys again as always, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.